Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan, and yes, I have my lighting, I have my fan. How you doing in YouTube land? And please make sure to give this video a like, a share, subscribe to the channel, that helps out the channel, all of that other good stuff. So, I wanted to do just like, I'm looking at the rest of 2026, and the strange thing is, I really don't know what to expect. I mean, it seems crazy to say that. So here's the thing. As some of you may recall, last year, the very last Moon, Serpent, and Bone night market happened. It was in December of 2025. That was going to be the very last one. And then we're in the tail end of May at this point. But as far back as late March, early April, I'm looking at Amy's social media, and it's like, there may be something coming down the pike. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then we have the Moon, Serpent, and Bone, Saints and Sinners, 8th Annual Summer Solstice Market happening next month. And then, of course, I found out that somebody that I had been in communication with primarily via email had some stuff happen to the point that none of their markets are going to be happening. And I didn't know that because I never assume anything. And sometimes I don't follow up with organizations because I have my own things going on. You know, sometimes it's professional. Sometimes there are some personal issues that I'm dealing with, like anybody else. So it's like, it doesn't even occur to me. And then one day it's like, okay, the spirits are not going to leave me alone. I need to follow up with this person so that I can get them off my back. Some of you know how this goes. But after July, I don't know. I mean, I have a few things in the works. I know that every year in September, the Mercadito Collective has the Mercadito, the Hispanic Heritage Mercadito, so there's that. I will be returning to Modern Druid in Nyack, New York after July, in October, for the 5th Annual Spirit of Sobro Festival. But what happens before that or after that? So, you know, it has me like, I wonder. And it's not like I have to have a public venue. I mean, the universe has repeatedly brought me and brought back to me people that basically just decide to pay for my private readings at full price, as opposed to waiting for an event to save a couple of bucks. And I don't have an issue with that. I don't. There are because I let people know, like, hey, this is an option you have, and the number of people who take advantage of that option is very low. Isn't that right, Second? Which always surprises me, because I'm like, don't you want to save some money? But no, there are people that are like, no, I want to pay full price. Who am I to argue? It's not my money. I have no control over it. I have no access to it. I'm not going to tell a woman, especially, what to do with her money. But I'm looking at the rest of 2026 from different perspectives. I'm looking at it from a professional perspective, like what is in store for yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch. I'm looking at it from a personal perspective, like, you know, what day trips are in my future, what places would I like to visit. There are some. Unfortunately for my life partner and I, we have a good friend, a good mutual friend who loves to drive. With the prices of gasoline being so high in the United States, at least, we have not been doing anything. I would like to see that change, if only once or twice between now and the end of 2026, simply because, you know, I love the day trips that I have with these people. I enjoy them very, very much, in fact, especially if I'm buying books or decks or both, as usual. And then, you know, I'm also looking at what else I want to do. You know, my life partner and I recently began redecorating the bedroom. And there's a skill that my life partner has, which is a very great skill that I do not have, and that is the ability to visualize where things can be moved in a room. I just don't have that ability. I would love to have that facility, I just don't. He has it in spades, and he has a computer program that can help him formulate and in visual form, like where this can be moved, where that can be moved. So we're actually in the process of redecorating the bedroom, and I must admit I am loving the way it looks in its initial stages. There's more that needs to be done. There's some more cleaning that needs to be done. There's some more reorganizing that needs to be done. But the new arrangement, I'm really enjoying. In fact, I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. And the living room is going to be the project after that. Because of all of the rooms in my apartment, these are the two rooms that can be the most they're the most redecoratable, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's a real word. And then, of course, I'm also looking at the opportunities that I have to hang out with friends, spend time with friends, spend time with my cats, the books that I want to read, the things that I want to continue learning and studying. So there are other things. But I am looking at the rest of 2026 mainly from the perspective of what can I expect? And yes, because I live in the United States, sometimes it's like, what's this motherfucker going to do now? Or try to do now? There is an actual account, I believe it's on a few different social media platforms, but primarily Twitter and Instagram. And the account is called, Is He Dead Yet? Do you know how many... I haven't seen them around in a while because it's not like there's been a change in the news story. I think they're taking a break and they're going to come back when it's officially official. I'll just say that. But, yeah. Personally, I don't want him dead. I mean, if you want me to be truly honest, I want him incarcerated. I want him in solitary confinement. I want him to have no access to computers, phones, tablets, pens, pencils, notebooks. I want him to be fed once a week. I want him to be hosed down with a hose once a week. I want him to have no soap so he has no other choice but to smell his own filth. I want him to have no visitors. That's what I want. And I want him to live long enough to experience that. That's what I want for the pedo-in-chief. That is the only thing that I want for the pedo-in-chief. I want him to have no comfort, no thrones of any kind, no gold leaf of any kind, no ill-fitting suits. I want him to have a t-shirt and shorts if he's going to be in public, or better yet, an orange jumpsuit. That's what I want. That is what I really want for that piss-poor excuse of a human being. That's the only thing that I want for him. So I want him to live a long, long time. I do not want him to die. I don't. I want him to live past 200 years of age. As long as he's behind bars in solitary confinement, that's just fine with me. That's what I want. On a lighter note, thank you to all of you in YouTube land for joining me in my YouTube journey. Thank you for all the love you show my little kitties, especially Sekhmet, who's my newest one. Well, newest of, And of course, thank you for all the likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions. Thank you especially to those of you who have scheduled your sessions. I am very happy with the birthday reading that I did for an individual's birthday. The actual birthday made me so happy. I loved the decks that I used for her reading, for her birthday reading. It just made me so happy. And as always, stay in tune with your intuition. Stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, and stay tuned for the next video.